Hey, all, welcome back to the Defiant Spirit. I'm Baruch Levy, also known as B. I am your guide to and through all things Enneagram, along with logotherapy, Dr. Viktor Frankl, um, meaning-centered psychotherapy, and I don't know, I'll throw in the mix Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, because I've been talking, teaching a lot around that as well lately. So mixing those all together into what I call the Defiant Spirit. Today, I want to take on the Enneagram. Sort of got out of the rhythm of the Enneagram there for a bit. Not my private practice. I use it constantly with my clients. Some want it more than others, but it's always at least the initial roadmap for how to navigate life. I just haven't been talking about it on the podcast because my heart has been torn, with all the things that are going around the world. So I want to get back in action to the Enneagram. It is just so important. I have a new Enneagram program coming out. If you ever want the intro to the Enneagram, well, first of all, you can always do the free Discover Your Number and get it over on the website, defiantspirit.org, I think /discover. And you can just sort of get a vibe, a feel for the Enneagram types on there. You can really discover your number, or you can take an assessment with me. And then you can get into my intro to the Enneagram, Own Your Number, which is all that you need to understand all 9 Enneagram types. Ennea means 9. So this is an ancient energetic roadmap. Sometimes it's called the personality typing system, but it's a deep, sophisticated map that's been around for thousands of years. It draws upon math and geometry. It draws upon spirituality, psychology. It's really stunning and elegant as a system to navigate life. So anyways, I want to get back into it, and I want to talk about it practically today. I was telling you about my new program. I'm working with my sister, Rebecca Rosen, and we're wrapping up. Hopefully by the time you get this, it'll be pretty close to being launched. 9 lives, and it's spirituality and Enneagram. My sister, Rebecca, is a spiritual medium. And so we've integrated the Enneagram with her work. And so it's about connecting to spirits, the spirit and your spirit in 9 different ways. We have all 9 of these numbers in us. You don't have an Enneagram type. You have a way that you react when you survive. You have a way that you respond when you thrive. And so our work is to defy our number, never to be a number. You don't have a number. You lean on these numbers. You rely on these numbers. You default to these numbers. We have all 9 of these energies within us. They're fundamental building blocks of the universe. We've got to get back to them. 9 pathways of being in the world, 9 arrows in the quiver, however you want to think of it. We have these energies within us. Some are more pronounced, some are more atrophied. And our work is to get them back into balance, to live in harmony, this circle. So 9 ways to gratitude. Again, yes, listen for your core type in this, but adapt and integrate all 9 types into your life. So let's start with Enneagram 1. Enneagram 1, the reformer in my system, sometimes called the perfectionist. As you can see behind me, I got my handy dandy Enneagram chart behind me. Now, if you're listening online, all you have to do is either go to my website or look up online the Enneagram. You can see it for yourself, but I'll tell you everything you need to know. So I used to do it on the screen. I just hate it. It takes up too much real estate. I like it behind me. And hey, I don't have a great office, people. I got a lot of 4 in me, even though I'm an 8. I react like an 8. I'm not an 8. Okay, Enneagram number 1, the reformer, the perfectionist. Enneagram 1 walks into your house on Thanksgiving, right? You're bound to have an Enneagram 1 in your life. I wouldn't say they're the most predominant, but I see quite a few 1s. I don't know if it's just the circles I hang in or I'm working in right now. A lot of 1s in finance, where I'm working. A lot of 1s, I don't know, just in my life. And personally, there are. My son is an Enneagram 1. My brother's a 1. My father, I believe, was a 1. My grandfather was a 1. So, Enneagram 1, the performer, the reformer, the perfectionist. They have a lot of work First of all, I want to start with the superpower. We'll just do superpower and kryptonite, because if I don't, people get hurt. We're very sensitive to the shadowy side of our stuff, and we all got stuff. Enneagram 1's superpower is they're such good people. They are the good boys and the good girls of the Enneagram world. They have a deep conscience, a moral compass that always points due north. Now, it doesn't mean they always follow it. They can get themselves into trouble when they deny it, when it becomes overwhelming to them. They can shut down under the weight of perfection. So the way back to gratitude, or a way back to gratitude for an Enneagram 1, is that famous saying that perfection is the enemy of the good. Good, gratitude, they really go hand in hand. When a 1 can start seeing what is good, not what is perfect, to let go of perfection, they can find their way back to just being grateful for what is right, for what is good. Another strategy for 1s, or for the 1 in all of us, because even if it's not your core type, it's within you, and it might be very high up there and what you need to work on, to ease up on yourself. 1s have the most noisy inner critic. We all have it. 1s, it's like it's screaming in their ear. It's hard to feel grateful when you're beating yourself up. So you're going to naturally take stock of all that you have done wrong, or all that's imperfect. Take stock of what's right. Make a list. I make my 1 clients make lists. They love lists. They love checklists. Put some checks on that list around all that you did right, all that is good, all that is perfect in your life and in the world, even if it's not all perfect all the time. Enneagram 2 is moving clockwise around the Enneagram, the helper, the lover, the nurturer, the relationship Enneagram type. So Enneagram 2s, their superpower is connection. They make connection. They care about the connections, the relationships. They are so good at anticipating other people's needs, your needs. They're just not always so great at necessarily knowing their own needs. And what can happen, I think of with Enneagram 2s, is it can be an unsustainable model. It is better to give than receive is just not true. If you only give, you're going to run out of nutrition, hydration, right? You got to receive. And that also goes to relationships and love. So Enneagram 2s stand guard against over giving and under receiving. Be grateful for the gifts that people want to give you, because, oftentimes I hear this, I try to give something to the 2, but they just don't receive it. So be grateful for all of the gift givers in your life, because there are many more than probably you realize. Be grateful for Enneagram 2s can sometimes lose the forest through the trees. So remember why you're doing it, right? Why you're working so hard to put that Thanksgiving beautiful feast together. Even if people aren't grateful for it, or they don't express their gratitude, work on not needing to be seen for all that you do, not needing to be thanked for making this possible. You need to get back to a place where the act of giving is the end, not a means to get something else. And so just know that you are a source of nurturing in the lives of so many people. So whether it's making that Thanksgiving meal or just being present in the lives of others, that's the gift. I work with a lot of Christians, and we sometimes we'll get into Jesus energy, right? Christ consciousness as a paradigm for them, especially if they're 2s, right? Of this pure giving, this pure love that really resonates for them. For me as a Jew and as a rabbi, it's interesting. It's not my paradigm. It's not my roadmap. So you find yours. If you're not a Christian and that doesn't work for you, then maybe it's a Mahatma Gandhi or no, I think Mahatma Gandhi might have been a 1. Who's a 2, like a Princess Diana or a Dalai Lama. He's a great one. Or Thich Nhat Hanh, right? Just this pure source of generosity and that's the means. It's not, sorry, it's an end. It's not a means. Enneagram threes, either at your, at your Thanksgiving table or showing up as a three. Threes are amazing achievers. That's what they're called. They just know how to get things done. So if a three is in charge of the Thanksgiving table, then you're going to get the best of what they have. They just deliver. When a three is on the case, I know it's going to get done. Threes have to remember, similar like to twos, to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Threes also, that forest through the trees thing, can get caught up in forgetting what they're working for. They just become human doings. And so your work is to stop doing, you've given enough, right? You are enough. Both twos and threes need to hear this, to appreciate all that you are and receive that. Receive is big for twos and especially for Enneagram threes, to receive the praise, the acknowledgement, to receive the attention, the gifts, not just to get it, to receive it, to internalize it, to be grateful for the relationships, where that comes naturally for twos. Sometimes threes can skirt over, just kind of run past the relationships. That's what that is all about. It's not the performance at that Thanksgiving table. It's about the people. Get back to people. And as a three, you will never go wrong. Enneagram 4, moving down to the bottom of the Enneagram, where really these are the deepest, richest types, 4 and 5 especially. Enneagram 4s, you are so creative and special and empathic, and just being in your presence really takes us up into another level of consciousness. Now, Enneagram 4s, you've got to stand guard against it's never enough. Like the never enough thing is really true with 3 and 4. You can see sort of these overlaps. 3s, it's never enough doing. And 4s, it's never enough being special, feeling original, right? An extra little flower here on the table, or it's the wrong flowers and it meant to have orchids because nobody does orchids. It doesn't matter. You are enough. You are the special one. That's what you bring to the table. And even if nobody understands you, right? Because they oftentimes don't. You're deeper than your average Thanksgiving goer. You have to be good enough with knowing yourself. And really that's what this is about. And then other people not getting you won't make such a difference. I was just talking to Ariella about the black sheep. She's always felt like the black sheep. And I think a lot of 4s feel like the black sheep at that Thanksgiving table. There's a beautiful opportunity in being the black sheep instead of trying to make yourself white, like the white sheep. Maybe you can elevate them to black sheep consciousness. So do with that what you want. Enneagram 5, the brains of the Enneagram types, the brilliance, the deep. I would say the Enneagram 4s are the deep feelers, and Enneagram 5s are the deep thinkers. They're just interesting people. I was just talking with an Enneagram 5 who's so, I don't know, I couldn't get enough of him, all his ideas and thoughts. Now, they can lose sort of a sense of gratitude when they get stuck in their heads and they stop realizing that emotion, like the next door neighbor, the 4s, is just as important, making heartfelt connections to really soften to the people around you and, kind of raise up the EQ, maybe bring down the IQ. Also for 5s, it's very important to feel grateful for all that they have. It's never enough for the 4 and the 5, but for different reasons. For the Enneagram 5, it oftentimes feels like never enough resources. Right? There's not enough food or they might get mad that there's so much waste, too much abundance. 5 stand guard against that judgment. This is a time and a place for abundance. I agree with you. Waste, isn't necessary. But if that does happen, just know it came from a 2 overcooking to feed your beautiful 5 soul. Enneagram 6. Enneagram 6 is the loyalist, the loyal skeptic. Enneagram 6 they're group-oriented people. They want to belong. They want others to feel like they belong. They're safety, security conscious. They're constantly thinking about their safety and security, or your safety and security. And it certainly is physical, but it's also emotional. It's tribal. They want to make sure that they have a place at the Thanksgiving table. I mean, it would really wound a six not to feel like they have a place. Conversely, they may be the most likely to have an extra place set just in case, there's a passerby who needs a place at the table, as long as we vet him and he has all his credentials and he checks out. Just kidding. So Enneagram 6, they're such givers. I have a friend, hey, TJ, Tommy, you're out there, who's a 6, and I just think of him as the quintessential 6, right? So magnanimous, so kind and considerate. Enneagram 6s have to stand guard, however, against worry and doubt. They also have that good enough piece where they may have a sense of insecurity that they don't belong, or they're not wanted, they're not welcome, where they just didn't, maybe they didn't cook the turkey long enough, which they did, I'm sure, but they might check it and double check it and triple check it and then worry that you're going to get sick and they're going to poison everybody here. Like, they got to get to a place where faith, I've done enough, I am enough, it will be okay. That's a pathway to gratitude, of just taking stock of all that is secure, all that, is safe. So much security and safety in your life, so much goodness, so much abundance. 6 is really just, and then so much, family and friends and love. Just get back to that and it will be okay. You'll be okay. And that's a pathway back to gratitude for Enneagram 6. Enneagram 7, the enthusiast, the visionaries, the optimist. Enneagram 7 is the fun one of the Enneagram. They know how to embrace life, the joie de vivre, I forgot how you say it, whatever it's called, the joy of life. They just want to experience it all. Now, Enneagram 7s, gratitude, be grateful for the Thanksgiving party you're at, the dinner you're at, because you probably were invited to a few of them and you might have FOMO, fear of missing out on the other ones. And oftentimes what will happen is they'll either be anticipating the next Thanksgiving party they're going to, or feeling like they're missing out. And so they're not present to the moment, present to the experience, present to the people around them. Enneagram 7s, when they are present, they are just presence. They have this amazing energy to lift the vibration, positive, optimistic. I don't know. I think of Enneagram 7s as solar power, right? Sunlight, just opening the shades and letting it shine in. And so Enneagram 7s, just be present, show up and shine your light. And we need that, especially us 8s, the challenger next door. 8s are a sense of power, intensity. I just went out to coffee with a friend. You know who you are. And I kind of think I might have overwhelmed him. I hope I didn't. We 8s are, if Enneagram 7s are the sunlight, then we're, I've heard it likened to the 220 volts, that big scary one behind your washer dryer. We're intense, like plug in the wrong appliance to that and you'll fry it. So Enneagram 8s, you bring a power and just a vitality to the meal. I'll engage people in meaning conversation. Probably don't have to engage them in, facing their mortality and planning for their deaths and fighting Hamas at the Thanksgiving table, which I got to stand guard against. I got to bring it down a few notches. As we say, the half-ass of an 8 is most people's whole ass. So probably half-ass it a little bit, tone it down, turn it down. Be also present. 7 and 8s really go off to the future or go off to the next thing for different reasons, but be present, tone it down, and just let that energy speak for itself. It's like caffeine. You'll caffeinate the rest of the place, but not if you ram 17 shots of espresso down their throat. So I know, speaking from personal experience, I feel grateful when I can just get back into my vulnerability, look around like the Thanksgiving table and just take stock of all of the wonderful attributes and qualities and open myself up to the emotional experience of it all. Last but not least, Enneagram 9s. Enneagram 9s, like 7s, I think 7s, 2s, and 9s really radiate a positive vibe. 9s probably radiate more of a peaceful vibe. My sister Rebecca's coming to my house for Thanksgiving, and I just know when I'm next to her, I feel calmer. I know when Shoshana, our daughter's there, I just feel more at ease. So showing up and just being present for everybody and really just almost meditating on helping all the 8s and the 7s and the 3s chill out. Enneagram 9s can lose themselves in those social settings, especially when things heat up. So 9s, that gets in the way of you feeling grateful because you're so worried about conflict or about having to kind of use your voice or be seen. So one pathway to gratitude for Enneagram 9s is to just know that you're enough. A lot like those 4s, know that you have what it takes to be at that table, to use your voice if you need it, but to go through that meal on your time frame, right? According to your agenda. You don't have to adapt to the circumstances and worry about what's going to happen. You have what you need inside of you to hold your own and to continue on your sort of path of harmony and contribute that. Really just offer that to the table. And I think you'll see quite quickly that people will lovingly respond, and so much to offer as a 9 and all 9 types. So you have all 9 of these energies in you and just kind of sort of rattled them off as a way to prep in a different way at your Enneagram table. If you want to learn what your Enneagram types are, I can't say we'll cram it in prior to this Thanksgiving, but certainly before Christmas, reach out to me. We can do your assessment, or we can talk it through. We can do your loved one's assessment, or we can figure those out. So jump over to my website, defiantspirit.org. You can set a discovery call with me, and we'll take it from there. Have a meaningful Thanksgiving. Bring your beautiful energy of not just your core type, your Enneagram type, but all 9 of these energies. Each of us has them within, us, and it's time to contribute, to develop them within ourselves and contribute them to the world. Until then, define your number and live your spirit, and I will see you in the next video or the next podcast.